Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Mark Fox on the line, and he's CEO of Resona Health. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right, Mark, so we got a lot to talk about today. So we're going to talk about creating natural side effect free solutions for pain, stress, and anxiety. And we're going to get into the work you're doing over at Resona Health. But just to get us kicked off, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all, with what we like to call our Mission Matters Minute. So Mark, at Mission Matters, our aim and our goal is to amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's what we do. Mark, what mission matters to you?
You know, this technology that we're going to talk about is, so in providing hope, that's the punchline, is most people that come to this technology or find it are either long-term in physical pain or mental pain, and usually both, and everything else they've tried doesn't work for them. So either the side effects of the drugs, people hate some of the side effects are awful. So that's how people come to this technology, is they go out and seek energy therapy and things because everything their doctor's given them in the past doesn't work for them. So it's providing hope for people that have been struggling long-term with, like I said, physical or mental pain.
Yeah, it's great. Love bringing mission-based individuals on to share why they do what they do, how they're doing it, and really what we can all learn from that as well and how we can benefit. So good to have you on. I guess just to get us started here, pain management, healthcare, like give us a little bit of your background and really what brought you to Resona Health.
Yeah, so I never planned to be in this space. It's my dog is the answer. My dog 27 years ago she couldn't come up the stairs. And unfortunately, she had severe arthritis in her spine and there was no solution for it. And then a veterinarian friend of mine said, hey, there's this magic machine. It's an energy machine, puts out frequencies that can reverse arthritis. So that's how I got. First of all, I'm like, well, that's not real. Okay, I'm a rocket scientist. It's like that's fake. But
and when you say you're a rocket scientist, literally former NASA aerospace engineer, right? I just want to throw that out there as you drop a rocket scientist, right?
So I didn't work for NASA. Almost nobody does. I worked for a contractor. NASA doesn't really build anything. I worked for more than but I was a chief engineer on the space shuttle. Yes, for
amazing
a number of years. So yeah, I'm skeptical, like everyone should be, about this kind of stuff. But again, it was my dog, so I'm like, well, I'm going to try it. And the motivation that I got for this technology was I saw initially what it could do for PTSD. And in fact, we have the largest study in the world with this technology in PTSD with a 98% success rate, which is phenomenal. And I just saw what it could do for PTSD, but it was being held hostage in a clinical environment, and there weren't that many machines. The machines were very expensive. And so I naively jumped in and said, hey, I'm going to go engineer and build something that's affordable and make a pocket-sized device. So it wasn't near as easy as I thought it was going to be when I first started. But yeah, that's what we ended up with. And so, yeah, it's energy therapy. And if it's called PEMF, pulse electromagnetic fields, which sounds real fancy, but it's actually the Earth's heartbeat. The Earth puts it out 7.83 hertz. It's called the Schumann frequency all the time. The way I like to describe it is nothing in the world happens without an energy exchange. So you don't eat food, you don't breathe oxygen, you don't drive your car, you don't make s'mores on a campfire, you don't fall down and hurt yourself. All of them are energy exchanges. Yeah. So the energy can be exchanged a number of ways. Electrical current, a lot of people are familiar with the TENS unit, or PEMF, magnetic fields, light, sound, and vibration. So it's putting energy into the body, and we can get into more details and go down multiple rabbit holes there. But that's at the highest level. That's what it's doing. It's transferring energy to the body.
Yeah. And you're also a military veteran, correct?
Yeah, from a benefits point of view, you can't measure. I mean, I was in the Army Reserves for 8 years. I was a combat engineer, but I don't have any benefits from being in reserves. But yes, I was in ROTC in high school and college, and I was 8 years in that.
I was just wondering, like when you were thinking about the concept and the idea, PTSD, and to use this technology, like why that was kind of like near and dear to you.
Just because of the 44 suicides a day. That's
Yeah.
why. So
I don't, and
22.
I bring that out because I don't like to assume, like, you're from that world and you understand, but I don't like to assume that everybody else understands. And I like to bring it up whenever I can so that there's more awareness built around that.
For sure. So there's 22 military veterans a day, 15 first responders, 5 medical workers, and 2 active duty that commit
Wow.
suicide every day. That's just the military and first responders. That's not counting all the civilians out there, right? So there's tons and tons and tons of suicides, unfortunately. And so it helps. We talked before about stories with that is I have like 12 women working for me in pajamas, right, that are answering emails and phone calls and sending stuff. And I told them, I said, this is going to be the most rewarding job you've ever had in your life.
Wow.
But it is not Orange County Housewives. This is not a reality show. This is real people that are suicidal, had a gun in their mouth. They're getting divorced. Now they're not. So it's emotional, right? We get 200 to 300 emails a day, 75 phone calls. And so you got to be ready as the person on the other end of that line or talking to you is a real person that's going through some kind of trauma that needs hope. Like we started off with the conversation. So it's emotional.
And let's go a little bit, and thank you for sharing that, because I like to make sure that people actually understand, especially if they don't know or haven't had much contact with individuals that are in this type of pain. You know what I mean? Let's get a little bit into the actual technology itself as well, and as you're going down this process. So maybe start in the early days for a moment. You're on this path. You understand this technology. At what point do you figure like, hey, this is going to be like a company? Like I'm going to make this a company as you're designing this product.
Yeah. So I started off with actually the protocols are all MP3 files. So they're actually music, and the device is actually an MP3 player without a speaker. So it's driving the MP3s through a coil. How I started that was I didn't know if it was going to work. So I actually took a Bluetooth speaker, which was a little cassette tape that was a promotional speaker that you might get in a bag at a conference, right? So I didn't have to spend the money on the mold tooling, and I just modified a Bluetooth promotional speaker. It took the speakers out, put the coils in to see if it would actually work therapeutically. And that's the first 1,000 devices that we had out there. Because it was a Bluetooth connection, people struggle with Bluetooth, and if they got a phone call or a text, it would disconnect. So we got rid of the Bluetooth connection and just made it a complete standalone device. But that's how I started. And this is a weird thing. I haven't really told many people this.
I love these because I wanted the inventor story too. Go ahead, please.
So 4 days before I had to cut money for mold tooling for the device, 4 days before, we got embezzled by our financial advisor and took half my retirement, mine and my wife. So like, do I just quit and go back to rockets? What do I do? We just lost half our life savings.
Wow.
My wife finally goes, just go ahead and do it because you'll be impossible to live with if you don't. So like, okay, so it almost never happened.
Her.
It almost never happened for that reason. It's like, wow, and I just lost half my retirement. This is terrible. But yet, and I didn't know it would work until we kind of proved it with the prototype, I said, with the speaker, and then we moved to the new device. But yeah, we've got, I estimate 10 million therapy sessions now that have been conducted.
Wow.
And nothing's 100%, right? Neither is any drug or anything in the world, but it's north of 90% success rate for sure.
That's amazing. And so the product itself, so the unit's called Vibe, correct? And maybe start getting into that piece of it and where we stand today.
So Vibe is the first product that we came up. We have a few.
And for everybody that's listening at home, the product that Mark held up, it looks kind of like almost like how would you describe it? Like the size of a phone, a large phone, maybe. And it's a little
smaller than
white. It's rectangular. And just it's a little smaller than an iPhone. Yeah, he's holding up both. And that's just for the people at home that aren't watching the video, that are maybe in the car. I like to don't want to leave you guys out. So continue, please.
It's about 2/3 the size of a iPhone, but it looks like an old music iPod on purpose.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, go ahead.
I designed that on purpose for familiarity. And this is a geeky thing, but the colors on it, on the frequencies, are the same colors as a Star Trek tricorder The
Oh,
bones.
come on. That's awesome.
Yeah, I made it Star Trek just so it have some familiarity. So there's 60 different protocols on there. 5 of them are brainwave protocols that can be repurposed for 70 other things. But PTSD we already covered, anxiety, back pain, neck pain, blood sugar. What happened? Dale Carnegie and Rockefeller screwed it up. Okay. Rockefeller decided, hey, I own all the oil in the country and I figured out how to make drugs out of oil. And me and Carnegie own the medical landscape. So if you're doing anything but surgery and drugs, we're going to pull all your funding or your licenses. So in America, in the United States, all this energy therapy got lost, most of it. The rest of the world did not, but we got way behind on it. Tesla worked on this stuff. A lot of that stuff just got scrapped. And so where the frequencies actually come from is foggy because of all the lost history. But most of them are from 8,000 practitioners over 35 years. The frequencies are frequency pairs that change every 1 to 4 minutes. So think of a garage band, right? There are a bunch of kids in a garage. They're throwing a horn, a cowbell. They take out an instrument, they change it a little bit. And that's where the frequencies come from. It's trial and error.
Wow.
Some have been around a long time. Some of them are things I just made up because of the need for it. I got asked probably 100 times for what do you have for Lyme disease? And I go, nothing. I don't have Lyme disease. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. So you get on a Facebook call or a call like this and see a group of people that have had Lyme disease for a decade. It is the most depressing thing you can possibly imagine. And it's like, okay, I went on a research path. I went and found a doctor that figured out 1 to 4 hertz will kill it. The bacteria, but it's a little clever bacteria because it doesn't want to die. And when it does, it spits poison. And so the good news, bad news on the first study with Lyme, it worked, but 100% of the people got sick because it's Hertzheimer reaction. The thing spit it out poison. So it's like, okay, so let's back off the power level a little bit, run the kidney protocol to clean out your toxins, reset your system with the vagus nerve. And that's what we're using now for Lyme disease. So that's one of many things where people come to us and it's like, yeah. And 80% of all ailments are inflammation of something. So we have a general inflammation protocol. We have liver protocol, allergies. I mean, there's so many kinds of allergies, food allergies, skin allergies, pollen, right? And so you just kind of make a match on what protocols we have. I had 3 doctors last summer. It was kind of weird because it was in the same week that said, hey, this thing is kicking butt for MS. I'm like, I don't have an MS protocol. What are you using? I say, you're using fibromyalgia because it's nerve related. And they went, yep. So we got doctors and stuff looking at the protocols and they're making, if there's not an exact match, they try something that's close and a lot of times it works.
And talk about like how people are, and I think you said 10 million or how many sessions have been running? I don't know if you used the word sessions. Like how many people have used this now?
We've sold about 25,000 units and I'm just estimating they're using it 3 or 4 times a week. So it's about 10 million sessions that we've conducted out there. And boy, I wish it was a higher success rate. Probably the lowest success rate we have is prostate. It's probably about 65% because I get 75-year-old men calling me all the time, yelling at me because it didn't work. And it's like, sorry, doesn't work for everybody. But PTSD is like 98%, and most of the protocols are above 90%. So yeah, it's better than most drugs as far as success rate.
Yeah. Tell me some of the, like, and you mentioned calling and the amount of people that and the response, all of that. Like what are some of the stories behind this? Like, tell me a little bit more about like some of the successes that you've seen.
The best litmus test for this, I mean, you can self-report, right? You do before and after surveys, that type of thing. But one of the best litmus tests is your family and your friends. Yeah. They're like, your kids want to hang out with you now. You're not getting divorced anymore, and you're planning to get divorced. Your wife now likes you. And of course, we had all kinds of suicidal stuff where they had a gun in their mouth. That we don't. This is for people and pets, so especially dogs and horses. And the amount of horse rescues that are out there where this horse is lame and suddenly they're running in a field, right? And they shoot me videos of that stuff where a horse can't move and now he can. Horses so those kinds of stories are super cool.
So for equine, like go further into that, the horse side of things. Like how does that look? I'm just curious.
So it's interesting because if you go man on the street and you say, hey, with a microphone, do you know what PEMF is? About 1 out of 15 people will say yes. And it's because they know what a beamer mat is, or from a chiropractor or a spa. In the horse world, 100% of horse owners know what it is. They know what wave is. They know what the big machine is because the veterinarians come out and treat their horse or another horse in the stable. So they're very familiar with it. Where you tap into it, and it's always my avatar in the horse world is a 52-year-old cowgirl. Yeah. And they all go, that little 2.4 ounce device can't do nothing for a 1,000-pound animal. You want to bet? So what it is basically I got one right here. It's basically a armband holder with an elastic strap that goes around the horse's neck. So just like humans, you have a vagus nerve that comes down both sides of your neck, and that's where you can tap into the whole nervous system. And so it's basically a thing that sits on the side of the horse's neck. And for dogs, we have a harness where it goes over their heart. I had one veterinarian tell me, his name's Dr. Tom. He's in Myrtle Beach, super cool guy. He said, Mark, I own every PMF device there is, all of them. Yours works the best, I think, because you put it on the heart. Because the vagus nerve comes and it clusters around the heart and then goes to the organs. So that was just a logical place to put it. And then the vagus nerve on a pearl. So we have a pendant that you just wear like a necklace for the vagus nerve that just lays near your heart. So lots of success. Unfortunately, all the horse rescue people in the world found out I give them away for free a lot of times. So then I have every person calling me every day wanting free product. I'm like, Mark's going to go broke. Okay. So
gotta sell some. Yes.
Gotta sell some of them. They say, so all the horse rescue people listening, please don't ask me for free ones. I'm out of free. Okay. So, but that's super exciting to see what it does with dogs and horses, or a dog that can jump off a couch now that can't, the hip dysplasia thing helps with that. So it's really cool to see dogs that can't really walk anymore. Now they can. Right. So one other story real quick, this is one of my favorite ones, is if this doesn't raise a hair on your arms, you're not a human being. 17-year-old girl had said, hey, Mark, I'll never have a date in my life because I have Tourette's. All the boys at school hate me. I get bullied every day. It's awful. She goes, I ran the brain balancing protocol and my Tourette's disappeared and I have a date Saturday night.
Wow.
Then she ended up marrying a guy 2 years later.
Stop.
Seriously. And I never told her to run brain balancing. I didn't know it would get rid of Tourette's, but in this case, it did, and it's never come back for her. She's never had a case of it again. There's some really cool things like that happen, and you're like, it is magic. Yeah, I know it's magic, but you get enough data and stuff, enough success stories that there's something there. It's really working.
What are your plans for continuing this rollout and continue to get any more units into households and really into the hands of people that need them? Like, talk a little bit more about your plans as you distribute this product.
I wish Zuckerberg would give me some of my money back, because it costs way more to sell one of these marketing wise than it does to make one. Right. So the Facebook ads are extremely expensive. We're on Sirius XM radio, we're on Google, but I used to we sell 10 packs and 100 packs as wholesalers. I used to get a new wholesaler every 2 to 3 months. Now I get a couple a day.
Wow.
So, and here's what typically here's a typical scenario. A patient will walk into the doctor's office and the doctor will go, oh my God, your A1C is 5.6. It's never been below 9. Okay. You finally changed your diet. You finally started doing what I told you to do. And they go, no, I started using this. And the doctor snatches it out of their hands. They call me and go, what the hell is this thing? And I explain to them what it is. So it's doing for blood sugar. So I get more and more doctors on board now as wholesalers from customers, right? Their patients coming in and selling the product for us. So my goal, literally, I have to look at the finances every month. It's like, am I losing money again this month? Because the marketing, it costs a lot of money to make noise. Yeah. It costs a lot of money to make noise. And so I'm trying to move in that direction. We've got, I just showed you the Vega Vibe pendant. We just came out with the only quad peptide anti-wrinkle cream where you can infuse this energy into the actual cream. And so this came out last Friday, is a anti-wrinkle cream. I'm afraid you've mentioned this, but this is for Alzheimer's. And We got to finish running the study first before I can even sell those, so the FDA doesn't lose their minds on me. But I'm super excited about that. Is MIT discovered about 10 years ago that you can reverse Alzheimer's with 40 hertz light. They discovered it by complete accident. They were doing a completely different study with rats in a box, and they had basically a white rope light that was flickering at 40 hertz. And so they're doing human trials and everything now too, which we're going to do our own trials as well. But it's got PEMF, magnetic field, and blue light, both at 40 hertz. So to answer your question, is I'm super excited about that product. If you and your listeners, right, and I have friends too, that their parents had Alzheimer's, it's the most devastating thing ever to a family.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've had friends quit their jobs to take care of their parents, right? Just ended their careers and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. We have a watch that came out last Friday to measure biomarkers. So, which is, got an argument with 2 customers today. They go, there's no way that can measure blood sugar. Yeah, it actually can without pricking your finger. Okay?
Interesting.
Measure light. So it has blood pressure, heart rate variability, blood sugar. And so this is the thing to measure that it's working, instead of just, very subjective before and after reports or litmus test of your friends. We now have a way to measure sleep and heart rate variability. If those 2 things improve, your life's going in the right direction. Those are probably the 2 best biomarkers to go measure, which it does both of those. So we're excited about that.
Man, that's amazing. This is awesome. Who, for those doctors or otherwise, like when you talk about the distributors, the wholesaler, like who's typically a good fit for that? I'm curious, because we have a large audience, and maybe there's some other potential distributors out there. Like, who's typically a good fit?
It's usually not going to be a standard MD who's been trained with the standard, right? It's going to be a naturopath, some chiropractors. It's going to be somebody that's an alternative medicine or is looking outside the box, or the extreme is, and she's passed, but my last doctor I had is like, I'd show her something on a piece of paper and she goes, nope, I don't even want to read it. I'm going to do what the American Medical Association says to do and nothing else. I'm like, you don't want to learn anything new? She's like, nope. So it's not those people. Okay. But it's people that are more and more, and it's what I said is customers coming in and going, hey, do you know about this thing? Because it's working. Right. And so it's more of customers telling the doctors for the most part. Yeah. And it's not their fault. It's just doctors continuing education. A typical MD is a drug company that takes them to a resort, right? And introduces the new drug to them. This is this year's new drug. That's what their continuing education is for the most part. They're not out looking at alternative therapies, especially not in the United States.
And learning more about Resona Health, of course, and your journey as an entrepreneur and also as an inventor. That being said, what's next? I mean, what's next for you? What's next for Resona Health?
Well, I say we had several new products. The cream stuff came out Friday. Actually, my dream is to put myself out of business. I said it could be delivered with light, sound, vibration, electrical current, right? I would love to be able to take smart bulbs and run the frequencies through the lights that's already in people's homes. To have smart bulbs, which I already designed it and built it. But when you turn a light switch on, the light doesn't just come on. It takes about 100 milliseconds or whatever. So it's designed so your eyes don't get shocked with an immediate light. But I need to be able to turn it on and off 1,000 times a second. So I got to get around the bridge. So if anyone at Philips would call me back, which they won't, and show me how to get around the stupid bridge on these smart bulbs, we could make all these. You could go, hey, picture this. Hey, Alexa, run depression in the living room.
Wow.
So that's all you got to say. The other one is, and I put out $25,000 reward. And nobody's been able to do it yet. The Qi coil on your phone to charge your battery. Hack the OS on the phone so that the frequencies go out of the coil instead of putting power in. And I offered a $25,000 reward on Facebook, and they all go, you can't do that. You can't hack the system. I just haven't found the right person to tell me how to hack it yet. If I could do that, I could turn every cell phone into a Vibe and not have a cell phone, or just have an app for $1.99 or something. Then everyone would have access to it.
Oh man, Mark, this is
Zuckerberg would have all my money, right? You could just do that and just get the app out there, right? So those 2 things are really my dream. Hopefully that happens someday.
Oh man, I love this. How do people connect with you? How do people connect? How do they follow up?
Resona, Resona.health is the website.
Mhm.
I put out a new book Friday. A lot of things happened last Friday called Go Find.
Yeah.
I've been busy. So Go Find Joy is my new book that's out there. They can go get that. There's a book that's $1 on the website called What on Earth Are We Doing to Our Health? So they can go read the book and stuff. It's an easy read that will explain what we talked about and give them some more background. But it's not .com, Resona, Resona.health
Mhm.
is the website.
Perfect. And for everybody watching, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Mark, thanks again for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, it's been a pleasure for me. Thank you for having me.